Hello, I'm Chris. This is Gross Models, and welcome to issue 19 of Back to the Future, the Delorean build. This is a standalone episode, so there's not much to do apart from what we've got in the parts supplied today. With this issue, you'll receive more parts for the engine, including air pipes, water pump, and hoses. Well, one pipe. Oh, no, that's sort of bigger pipe, but yeah, okay. Water distribution pipes and the engine top. So I think we're going to be fitting these bits to that, and then next time we'll be fitting that to everything else. So yeah, nice, easy, self-contained build this time around. We'll go through this in a moment as we get to the build, and then it will look like that at the end. But let's have a look through the magazine first, and then I'll get that out of the way, and we'll get on with the build itself. The production diary, they return to some familiar locations for filming as the filming drew to a close. Cool. It's the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, isn't it? So yeah, there we go. Back to home. Fusion. Let's get one page turned over at a time is always useful. Doc's domain. Two houses provided the backdrop for Doc Brown's world. Quite cool looking. I prefer a more modern interior, but I can understand the appreciation of that. There you go. And then obviously the cherry red guitar. Yeah, you know, someone else who could play guitar. Yes, he does. Right, next time, as I say, the intake manifolds apparently. So yeah, that's that. So this time we have these parts here. As I said, it's entirely a self-contained issue. Building the water pump, hoses and pipes. We do get another tool. We have another pair of tweezers, which are different to previous ones that I've been provided to with other these part builds. They're not bad. They're quite a flat tip, not sharp. So probably quite useful for doing the hoses and tubes and things on part builds. So I shall add that to my collection of tweezers in my Ghostbusters mug. Over the back there. Right, so first of all, we are going to be using an AP screw because we're putting it into plastic. Let's get one of those out of there. We're using that bit and that bit by the looks of it. So that is that way up like that. That's got to be obviously that way up like that. That goes in there, and that's the part that we are screwing together. So let's have a look and see if we can't get that AP screw in there nicely. Seems to be working. This is the water pump and the water hoses being fitted together. They go like that. Works well for me. This is then going into here. Now you've got to get that the right way round. Obviously we've got the tab pieces here, and that one has a tab on it, so it's got to go that way round. In there, pushes in like that, and that is held in place with two further AP screws, which will leave one in the bag, which will probably be kept for spares, because that's the way these things work. So that's going on there. As ever, when you're putting these screws in, put in one a little bit, and then putting the other one in a little bit. Make sure everything lines up properly before you try and tighten down the first one. It's pretty much got to line up on this, but it's still good practice to get into. As I say, on pretty much every video that involves putting a screw in, I'll tell you that. And, you know, eventually you might remember it. You never know. So that's that in there. Then we have this one to fit inside. Which way up? That way up. In there. That goes into the end there. And there's two screws to hold that in place. But being as this is metal, we're going to be using AM screws for that. 3 of those. 1, 2. Let's leave the bit of paper in there, otherwise I won't remember what the last screws are. So we've got 2 on there and 1 on there. That looks like that needs to go home just that little bit further. Get that in there. Make sure everything lines up properly on each and every one. Probably get away with doing those two as a single thing, and this one could be separate, but why not? We might as well Get them all in first and then tighten them up. There we go, that's that. Button down these two as well. I'm assuming that this is probably never going to be seen, but we'll see as the build progresses, and we'll see exactly what's going to be left outside and what we need to do to tidy things up. I need one final AM screw. Which will be holding this onto the top of this post here. There's a little notch cut out in there, extra bit on there, so it'll only go one way round, and it will lock itself in place once that screw is done. So that is that. This hose goes onto the top of these two posts on there. I get my fingers in the way off, so might be able to do it just like that. So that is that, and that is what the finished assembly should look like. That's the end of this issue's build. So I'll keep the screws for later. That's that, which will be added to the rest of the car very shortly, I'm sure. So thank you very much for joining me for this part of the build. I'll see you very soon for some more. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Bye bye for now.